What's up, fellas? Just had a associate of mine leave the house about 15, 20 minutes ago. He runs a construction company. He builds new homes. Um, anyways, he absolutely distraught, and he was here to try to borrow some money from me. And the reason he needed to try to borrow some money from me, which I didn't lend him, and he was very, very upset. But I'll explain all of that. He had somebody who was managing his company while he was out running around to Cancun and going to Vegas and going wherever he wanted to go and spending his money. And he got a call from his site manager that all of the checks that they were wrote for uh, their weekly pay or bi-weekly pay or whatever it is, Christmas bonus and all that, all their checks started bouncing. Now, if you don't know what that's like, if you've never run a business, you get charged fees for those, and some banks or credit unions or whatever will run those through the systems 3 times. So you'll get one check and you'll get 45 additional dollars for a non-sufficient fund, NSF funds, and you times that, man. Anyways, what had happened is the manager who he had given power of attorney to took all of his money, sold some of his properties, and now he can't find them. He came here to me to not only borrow money, but to ask me to find. I don't know if you guys know what a skip tracer is, but I have some friends that can find people. Find people. Let's just leave that as it is. That has nothing to do with it. This video is about betrayal. And I wrote some notes. They're off here. So if you see me looking off to that side, that's because that's where the notes are. And some of the notes are: an honest enemy is far better than a false friend. Um, that's why it's easier to forgive. That's why it's easier to forgive an enemy than it is a friend. I mean, you can't really have a betrayal with an enemy because they're who they are: competitor, an enemy, someone who's trying to take food off your table. Um, they don't really betray you, they just act as they're supposed to do, and you expect that out of them. Betrayal comes from someone who has insinuated themselves with you, or that you have made the mistake of trusting. Um, Here's another one. Everybody, all of us, get betrayed in our lifetimes. I've been betrayed probably since 2016 when I moved here from Washington, D.C. area. Probably 4 or 5 times, and most of it had to do with money. To the point now, I don't loan money to anybody for any reason. And if you're within 10, 15 years younger than me, too bad, so sad. You should have had that money for yourself. So um, that may be a rough way to do it, but if you ever loan anybody money, you never. I always act like I'm never gonna see that money again. Even I have. It's just not worth it to loan money to anybody for any reason. So back to the betrayal part. If you betray me, and this is how I would hope you would look at it from this point forward, if someone betrays you, you should be absolutely ruthless with that person or people. You should also learn from your mistakes. One of the things I do is when I was in business, I never had problems dealing with somebody in business or running a business. And I mean any kind of business I've had, doesn't matter. Uh, I've had everything from dealing with cars, dealing with homes, dealing with small apartment complexes, duplexes, 3 families, 2 families, renting homes, renting vacation properties, all that kind of stuff. But um, I always signed every check. I'm telling you, you got it. You have to watch every penny. There's people who don't think it's a big deal to steal from you. rather than ask you for, hey man, can I buy a book of stamps from me? You'll be there and you'll say, hey, let me look at the stamps, because we send out what's called mailers. Uh, I can get into that, but you get about a 4% return on that, so I'll not dive off into a different venue. Um, and you go back and you buy what, $500 worth of stamps, and at the end of 30 days, you've only sent out 200 envelopes, and $450 worth of stamps are gone. So, and you have to fire somebody. So, you got to sign every check. If you're going to get into business for yourself, you have to be absolutely ruthless. You have to sign every check. You should balance your books every month. Every month, you should know what's coming in and what's going on. And if you don't, that's on you. And if you choose not to take this advice, good luck to you. I hope you prove me wrong. But when you don't, it is what it is. So, when you're in that type of environment, you have to validate and verify. You can say, I trust you. Yeah, okay, I trust you, but I'm going to validate and verify. I know guys that own multi-million dollar companies who, when they're interviewing for somebody in the front office, they'll go there and sit in the lobby like they're one of the people being an interview and talk to the person that's coming in. I mean, it's just, there's nothing wrong with validating somebody or verifying them. If they get all frustrated or why are you doing that? Don't you trust me? No, motherfucker, I don't trust you. It's my money. It's my life. It's my reputation. You got to guard all of that stuff. You can't become known as a deadbeat or an easy mark. And sometimes you have to simply be ruthless. If you find those people and they're not going to pay you back, you take them to court. You rip them apart in court. You take all their money for the rest of their lives. You put them in jail. Um, this is one of the other things. I've never been afraid. Look, I come from nothing, like 80 to 90% of everybody. Nobody left me a home. Nobody left me a business. I was a criminal. I was slinging drugs on the streets. I don't come from money. I don't have family. I don't have any of that stuff. There's trappings to that. There's good things to that. And the thing I can say is that you should have no problem burning a bridge. You should have no problem cutting somebody or kicking them the hell out of your life. If they betray you, they are of no use to you. And you should ruthlessly get rid of them. Kick them completely out of your life. If it's a business partner, if it's somebody betrays you, if it's a woman in a relationship and they betray you, those wounds, to me, those betrayal wounds, they don't go away. They don't heal easy. You don't just shake those off and keep on going. I mean, those are things that cut deep and stick with you. So I have no problem burning a bridge. I have no problem cutting people off, getting out, just shutting them down, kicking them out of my life. And that leads to the last point. The last point I'm going to make to you about betrayal is it's going to happen to all of us. It happens to us at some point in time in our lives. Over one thing or another, you tell something to somebody in confidence and they betray you. So, or with money, or with business, or with something else. What you should do, the only things you can do to try to protect yourself is to vet those people you allow into your life and be very, very selective who you call a friend. You can have a million associates, but the amount of friends you have shouldn't be more than the fingers on your hand. And if you have way more friends than that, well, then you're doing something I don't know about. Uh, you keep your money close. You keep an eye on everything. You validate and verify. This man just left. He's 46 years old. He went from making high six figures. I'm talking $750,000 a year. He hasn't got anything. In fact, he's going to be tied up in court to try to get the properties back that this person who was managing his money sold and kept the money. So it is what it is. Got to be aware, and you got to be able to deal with being betrayed. That's why no one should know how much money you make. No one should know where your money's stored, and you should never, ever give anyone else access to your money or your business. All right? Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. If you can't, take care of yourself. Like a fart in a G string. From West Texas, El Paso, I'm out of here. Bye bye. Did I say like a fart in a G string? I'm out of here. Bye bye.